Today, I want to talk about the economy and crypto. So, first of all, are we in a recession? Well, the common definition is, but apparently not the official one, that if GDP is down 2 quarters in a row, then technically we are in uh, a recession. And we were in the first quarter. I'm not sure that the numbers are in yet, but we're probably 2 quarters down. But whether we are or whether we aren't, the price of gas and our groceries, well, it sure makes us feel like one. And you got the war in Ukraine, and the markets are down. And I'll tell you, we've certainly seen better economic times before. Now, you couple this with coming out of a 3 year pandemic, which really isn't even over yet, and we can certainly say that we live in interesting times. And, it's with that gloomy backdrop that I want to talk a little bit about crypto and taking 100% responsibility for your finances. You see, before I go any further, I must confess that I'm a reformed finance ignorer. Ignorer? Is that a word? So, like former smokers, this may seem a little bit zealous. And even though my dad was a banker, I really spent most of my life ignoring the details of basic finance. And I was just bathing in my own financial ignorance. And I was the kind of guy that if I had money in my pocket, I'd spend it. And if you were in my field at the time, I'd spend it on you too. And to be honest, since my dad was a banker, well, I didn't really ever go without having money in my pocket. So when I graduated from college and I started working in the real world, again, I found that making money was pretty easy and I had money in my pockets. And it wasn't until I got laid off from my first real big job after working for this corporation for a long time that the prospect of money not coming easy anymore, well, it was real in my life. And it would be many years later that I would discover that paying attention to one's own finances was actually kind of fun. But it would come about in a way that I never would have guessed. It came through crypto. You see, about 2 years ago, I had put $100 into Bitcoin, and then, I really wasn't interested, and I sort of forgot about it. Well, eventually, when I looked up this account last year, I realized, wow, it had grown to $500. So now this got my attention full on. So I really took the red pill. I dove into crypto big time. And as can happen to people, I became enamored with the whole crypto space. And I tunneled deep down into the rabbit hole of blockchain and crypto and NFTs, DeFi, Web3, and the metaverse. And I started investing small amounts into various crypto projects and learning how to navigate this mysterious new world of decentralized finance. And soon I had accumulated so much knowledge that people started paying me to teach them crypto. And at this point, I was still just spending most of my money in my pocket, other than the little crypto that I had invested in. But it occurred to me that if I was going to teach this to people and it was about money and how to invest in the crypto market, I'd better get a handle on my own finances and start walking the walk. And so the biggest thing I learned was to take 100% responsibility for my own finances and in all areas, including taxes and insurance and wealth building and preserving wealth. And this came to me by the way that crypto, it really isn't that easy. So it's still new, and that the user interfaces are decentralized. And so they're kind of based on technical rules. So it's kind of confusing and not very user friendly. But that didn't stop me because I really wanted to learn this stuff. So I persevered. Plus, I'm actually very tolerant with tech issues. And for some reason, I've always been patient with tech, probably believing that you just have to be patient because I worked as a customer support rep for a technical company in my first full job. And I realized that, it's going to work if you just stay patient and stay with it. So anyways, I realized that if I was going to success in investing in crypto and making money and not losing it, then I'd have to pay attention and focus on what I was doing and where I was putting my money and to have a really good plan of what to do if things started not looking so good. So I learned that I had to take all the emotions out of my investing and just have a plan for when I would put on a trade or invest in a coin or a project and when to get out, either with a small loss if things weren't looking good or with a gain, and not being too greedy. But the key was having a plan so that I knew when to get in and when to get out and not just going by emotions. And one day I realized that I needed to apply this same rigorous planning to the execution of all my finances, not just crypto. So I went back and I relearned some basic finance and I started to apply this kind of thinking with all my finances. I can't tell you how good it feels having all my finances in order. For the first time in my life, I actually feel confident about my current and my financial future. Now, even in this downtime economy, if you have control, you have this really good feeling that you're going to be okay. So this is my rant for today. Well, maybe there are a couple things to leave. And this is first, take 100% responsibility for all your finance. And maybe you should look into the crypto space. It's really not as scary as you think. And if you have a solid plan and you go slow, you can prosper even when all the traditional financial world is suffering.